On 7's Gold Coast News, caught and confronted. We show you the moment police sit down with a teenage car thief.
The major development after precious plaques were stolen from a Tweed Head cemetery.
School zone shock, a driver's reckless act caught on dashcam.
Taking off, new flights soon on offer to and from Coolangatta Airport.
And a little girl's lovely letter to a Gold Coast milk manufacturer.
Live from the Gold Coast, 7 News with Amanda Abate and Steve Titmus.
Good evening. Tonight, 7 News can show you part of an intervention between police and a teenage car thief.
Officers didn't mince their words when they sat down with a 17-year-old as part of a major task force that's already made more than 40 arrests.
Caught out and confronted.
Just involved in a car that was stolen.
17-year-old face to face with police.
If you take someone's life, you've got to live with that to the end of days.
Words a warning after the teen was caught in a stolen car in July.
It shows you how quickly things can get out of hand, and especially when other people get involved and other people in that driver's seat. You've got no control, you can't keep yourself safe.
An example of early intervention done by Gold Coast Police to pump the brakes on young offenders.
These are young people who are only just starting to engage in some of the criminal offending. They're mixing with the wrong crowds.
The major crackdown is a part of Task Force Guardian that started specifically to stop youth crime. This year, officers have charged 42 people with 115 offences, and they're not just locals.
We've arrested and charged offenders, young people from Logan, Brisbane, and well outside the Gold Coast who do come here and commit offences in this community.
So everyone is held accountable for their actions. Sam Payne, 7 Gold Coast News.
6 teenagers have now been charged for their alleged role in a wild stolen car spree across the Gold Coast. The first 3 were caught yesterday morning in Coolangatta, the rest later that day in Pacific Fair. The gang is linked with multiple robberies across the city, including Bigara Waters and Talai. The youngest in the group is only 13.
Police and parents say they are mortified after video emerged of a driver's reckless act through a Gold Coast school zone. Sam Payne, the car was on the wrong side of the road.
Yes, Steve, yesterday afternoon just outside Helensvale State High. This dashcam video shows the driver's dangerous antics. They cut through a roundabout in the wrong lane, speeding in front of another vehicle. You can see the 40 school zone lights lit up in the background of the video. Police say it happened around 3:20 yesterday afternoon, the same time as parents were picking up their kids.
Yeah, that's disgusting. I'm mortified.
It's quite sad, actually. There's a lot of that around here.
The vehicle is not registered here on the Gold Coast. We have police following up with the owner at the moment, who is in the Brisbane area.
Amanda, police are still trying to track down the person behind the wheel.
OK, Sam Payne reporting. Well, there's been a breakthrough in the case of plaques that were stolen from a Tweed Head cemetery. Groundskeepers noticed more than 100 copper plates were missing from the memorials earlier this week. There were concerns they would be sold off as scrap metal, but police received a tip-off leading officers to barriers near the site where the plaques were discovered. Officers also found a crowbar and screwdrivers. Those are now being forensically tested. Tweed Council will be putting up the names on the plaques to their website to reunite them with loved ones.
Jack's Law will be expanded under new legislation that passed through Parliament today. Police will soon have the power to search offenders for weapons in more venues, including sports and entertainment precincts, even late-night shopping areas. Wanding will also take place on trams, trains and buses, not just at the transport hub.
And it's something that I believe should be a national law. You know, it's working so well here in Queensland. There's no reason it's not going to work anywhere else.
The laws were introduced following the tragic stabbing death of 17-year-old Jack Beasley in Surfers Paradise 5 years ago. We'll have more on this very important story next in 7 News at 6.
There are serious health concerns for babies as whooping cough cases skyrocket. More than 1,200 Gold Coasters have contracted the infection already this year, a staggering increase seen across the whole state. Vaccination rates among pregnant women have dropped to just 70%, and authorities say mothers are putting the lives of their unborn babies at risk. The disease leaves infants fighting for their breath and can be fatal.
Very disturbing. Our city has landed the return of a major international travel route. Let's go to Liam Bland. And Liam, direct flights to Hong Kong will take off from early next year.
In line with Lunar New Year, Steve, China's peak holiday season, the flights will operate 4 times a week for 4 weeks from mid-January through Hong Kong Airlines. It marks the re-establishment of a vital travel market for the Gold Coast. China and Hong Kong visitor spend was worth more than $430 million to our city's economy 5 years ago. But in the year to March, it was shy of $97 million, a figure these direct flights are likely to boost. If successful, airport bosses say there is scope for the seasonal service to expand.
Hong Kong Airlines have chosen not just the Gold Coast as their first Australian port, but the Gold Coast as their first long-haul port since the pandemic out of Hong Kong Airport. So it allows them to connect Hong Kong and the Greater Bay region in China. So that's around 3 times the population of Australia. That's within easy reach of the Gold Coast now.
The announcement also exciting for Gold Coasters, with Hong Kong a key travel hub for Aussies heading to other parts of Asia. Mandarin is the second most spoken language in our city, so a chance too for locals to potentially head home for the holidays. Tickets will head on sale next week.
Okay, Liam Bland reporting. Plans have been lodged for a new medical hub in Coomera. The site along Urban Village Way will have 28 tenancies, which will provide space for a variety of specialists. The proposed building will sit 7 stories high with more than 300 car parking spaces.
Now, how would you like to be taking in this water view from your office? Residents of the recently opened One Khan Tower at Surfers Paradise are doing just that. A business lounge, believed to be the first of its kind on the coast, has been built following a surge in people working from home.
A 10-seater boardroom, 8 different work from home spaces. You've got a couple of little meeting rooms, but you've also got this beautiful lounge area that you can meet your clients.
Having the ability to be able to come here and have this space has been incredible for myself. I work purely from anywhere.
Residents can book the space on an app. A major town hall community meeting is underway in Southport about a rise in rates for locals in high-rise apartments. Mel Whiteman joins us. Mel, there's a big turnout.
There's hundreds of people here tonight, Steve, which is not surprising given the outrage caused by this rate rise. Some of the owners of units here say that they've seen their rates go up by as much as 50%, which is well above the average increase of just over 4% announced by the Mayor when he handed down the budget. Councillor Brooke Patterson is hosting tonight's meeting. She's using it as a chance to explain more about why this change was made, but many of these locals aren't having it. The meeting has just started and it's already heated. Locals have been yelling out, and at the moment they're lining up to have their say, with no doubt many more questions to come tonight.
Yes, we'll hear more about this tomorrow, no doubt. Okay, thank you very much, Mel. Well, gridlocked, bogged in the mud, or having to walk kilometres, Gold Coasters are being asked about the transport problems they've faced at festivals. It's all part of new research by Griffith University after a number of events were cancelled.
Is transport part of the problem? And if it is, what are some ways that we could design festival sites in the future to have a much more sustainable industry so that we can have better festivals, whether they're in northern New South Wales, on the Gold Coast, in Brisbane?
The survey, focusing on festivals in Byron, is online.
Budding engineers have raced to repair a smouldering boat on the water in Southport. The rescue mission, somewhat expected, was a learning experience for the future of our city's marine sector.
Picking up speed but smoking soon after, a rescue vessel called in on the water at Southport before heading back to dry land for repairs.
Battery's good, there's no problem with the battery.
Hardly a maritime emergency, but a valuable lesson for these amateur boat builders. Students from across the Gold Coast going head-to-head in an inter-school challenge as they put their designs to the test. Some slick and stylish, others with aquatic inspiration.
With these kids particularly looked at the science behind flotation and what goes into our manufacturing and buoyancy of the boats. Some schools have 3D printed and designed that. Other schools have gone through the sustainability aspect and looking at recycled materials and things.
The Redback Racer is the result of hours of effort in the workshop from the team at Benoa State High.
We've had to sandpaper it down. We've used silicone on the insides to make sure that water doesn't leak in. It's worked better than we expected.
Ditching pens and paper for a practical lesson by the pool. Liam Bland, 7 Gold Coast News.
Well, now for a look at the weather. And Michelle, it felt quite a bit warmer today.
Steve and Amanda, it is definitely feeling more like spring than winter now. We dipped back into cooler days at the start of the week, but I think it's safe to say now that these warmer days are here, at least for a decent run. Temperatures crept a tad higher today, not quite reaching the Surfers Paradise forecast of 27 degrees though. It was a top of 25 at the Seaway and in Coomera, and a couple of spots hit 28 further inland. And these overnight temperatures are worth noting, 7 degrees above the average August minimum in Coolangatta and 5 degrees above the average at the Seaway. Looking ahead, here is the heat we're expecting in Queensland on Sunday, and it is looking warmest inland, and we will see higher temperatures extending all the way to the Gold Coast, even reaching 30 degrees. I'll be back soon with the forecast.
Oh, loving these forecasts now. Fantastic. Coming up, we reveal the Gold Coast suburbs with the highest house profits. Is yours on the list?
Hope so. Well, why a little girl penned a personal letter to a Labrador milk company.
And the Gold Coast's best supermarket is crowned. Tonight we can reveal the Gold Coast suburbs with the highest house profits. Burleigh Waters was among the areas in regional Queensland with the largest return on home sales. Sellers walked away with a median profit of $760,000. Nice. Units also provided a large return, a median of $422,000 at Reedy Creek. Nationally, profits hit the highest level in over a decade, with most houses and units reselling for more than they were bought for. Now, this next story will melt your heart. That was certainly the case for the boss of a Gold Coast dairy manufacturer who received a lovely handwritten letter from a little girl. The 7-year-old was then given special golden tickets.
Meet Lucy, Charlotte and Zephyr, Norco's newest and cutest recruits.
We got little badges. Chief Taste Officer.
Titles they take very seriously.
A little bit more chocolate.
Milk wasn't the only thing on the menu today. If you can't already tell, Lucy loves dairy.
This is delicious.
Her favourite animal is a cow.
They're really funny and they make milk and I really like milk. It was really hard to take milk bottles away from me.
She didn't get to meet the real deal today, but she came close enough and might have got the next best thing.
I learnt some new things, like how the big tanks store milk from different kinds of cows. It's so amazing. And we also got to go into the milk thing and we got to get milk.
The 7-year-old and her 2 best friends were treated to a rare taste of Norco's Labrador milk factory.
The best dairy place in the world.
Show these lovely children exactly where their milk comes from and the fact that the hard-working farmers play a vital role.
Learning what it takes to make milk at all levels.
Hold it down, hold it down.
Because of this moving letter she wrote to the company's chief executive.
It melted my heart. Normally the protocol is to maybe say no, but I must admit I made a bit of a captain's call on this one.
Saving the best bit for last. Paige Van Lunteren, 7 Gold Coast News.
Oh, what a day. Well, in the battle of the big Gold Coast supermarkets, Aldi has been crowned the best for the 7th consecutive year. A CanStar Blue survey rated the German chain 5 stars in value for money, freshness of produce, deals and specials and quality of products. Woolworths and IGA managed 4 stars each for overall satisfaction. Coles had the worst results, claiming 3 stars.
It's really important for families to find value for money, and actually we're seeing that loyalty has actually declined year on year. Consumers are switching to different supermarkets but also shopping across multiple brands.
Families are spending 5% more on groceries than this time last year, at least. Sally Pearson is here now with sport.
Sal, our surfing superstar, continued great form from Paris.
Absolutely, in Fiji. Hello everyone. Jack Robinson on a roll. Next, his epic opening heat at Cloudbreak. And why playing more in Melbourne is a must for the Suns.
Flyer beware, the double booking debacle that cost this dad dearly.
I'd be really cautious.
$4,000 out of pocket after 8 long months.
It's been an absolute disaster in a game of cat and mouse.
A must-watch warning before booking your next holiday. 7 News at 6.
Tomorrow on Sunrise, exclusive new property report. The most affordable, family-friendly suburbs in Queensland revealed.
Plus viral sunscreen trends heading into spring. What works and what to avoid for all skin types.
See you in the morning.
Gold Coast-based surfer Jack Robinson has continued his red-hot form from the Paris Olympics into the Fiji Pro at Cloudbreak. The silver medalist topped his opening heat ahead of fellow Aussie Ryan Callanan.
It was good actually at the start. I had a good wave, but I just didn't make it. And then, just trying to search for one the whole heat, and then I ended up getting under priority and just making it happen in the last 6 minutes. So, yeah, I knew I had to go.
North Stradbroke Island product Ethan Ewing dazzled, winning his heat. Surfing legend Kelly Slater will have to win his elimination round after finishing bottom of his heat. And now here's Sevens League expert Trevor Gilmister with his weekly deep dive.
That's another season done and dusted, so what now? If I was Des, I'd be using the final 3 rounds to figure out how 5 fits into 4. How do you use AJ Brimson in unison with Kinney and Campbell? Keanu was exceptional on the weekend, running for almost 350 metres. Jaden and Kieran Foran's halves combo has proved to be match-winning in the past. So AJ's found himself in number 14, but he only gets 12 minutes against the Dragons. That doesn't work at any level, not for the player, not for the team. See how the Storm use Tyrone Wishart? That's a start. So for me, the next 3 weeks is getting a head start on next year.
Damien Hardwick says a win is important for morale, even though finals are out of the picture. The Demons bounced back last weekend to win over a lacklustre Suns at home. The Gold Coast now face Richmond at the MCG.
It's one of those ones where we probably had a lot of players well below their best on the weekend. Playing at the MCG is an honour, so we're really looking forward to that, and hopefully it becomes part of our DNA moving forward to play the big games there. And you sort of know where finals have to be played. You've got to go through Melbourne's.
Richmond superstar Dustin Martin will be honoured at the game after announcing his retirement. Hopefully the Suns can get back up there again.
Dusty will get a standing ovation, I reckon.
Certainly will.
Thank you, Sal. Well, coming up, chicken prices hit by the cost of living. Why the biggest impact is on our waistlines. That story is soon on 7 News.
And after a very wet August, we are in for a run of clear skies. I'll have the forecast next.
Welcome back. A disturbing finding heads 7 News at 6. Here's Max Futcher.
Steve, coming up, a bombshell investigation into the Cairns chopper crash. The shock revelations only on 7. Also, airport emergency. A rogue passenger running on the wing of a Jetstar plane. A mother and her child caught in a carjacking. She speaks to 7 News. Whooping cough cases explode. The warning to all Queensland parents. And life-changing lotto calls ahead of tonight's mega Powerball draw. Those stories and more coming up next.
Yes, tuning in for that. Weather time now. Let's go to Michelle.
Thanks, Amanda. There's been plenty of sunshine around today, and that is something we can get used to. Right now, it is 20 degrees at Main Beach with northerly winds at 13 kilometres per hour. It was a warmer night last night with 17 degrees at Coolangatta, Burleigh Heads and at the Seaway. The daytime temperatures didn't go quite as high as expected, sitting in the mid-20s along the coast. On the satellite today, we have had some scattered showers inland, but the Gold Coast is sitting pretty under clear skies beneath a ridge of high pressure. Tomorrow, a new high pressure system becomes the feature, moving from New South Wales into the Tasman Sea and keeping conditions on the coast stable. So a mostly sunny day on the coast tomorrow with tops in the mid-20s again, 15 to 24 degrees along the southern end, and the chance of fog tomorrow morning inland. In Surfers Paradise tomorrow, a partly cloudy day. Hiding in here is a 20% chance of rain in the late morning and the afternoon. Boatee's northwesterly winds to 20 knots will shift southeasterly in the morning, seas to 1.5 metres. Now below the surface here is how it's looking near North Stradbroke Island. Water clarity is improving day by day after the rain we had. Visibility is now between 4 and 8 metres, clear enough to enjoy a swim with a hawksbill turtle. Surfers, you would have been better off having a swim too. Not much to write home about here with a weak northerly swell. and there'll be a small swell again tomorrow, knee to waist high, and starting the day with southwesterly winds. Looking ahead, and we are in for a sunny weekend before temperatures are on the move, reaching 30 degrees next week and bringing a much warmer than usual end to winter, Steve and Amanda. It might even be pool weather.
Yeah, it's feeling like summer already.
The Speedos have to bring them out again.
Oh gosh, no, not that hot.
Thanks, Michelle, and thank you for your company this evening.
We'll be back with more Gold Coast news tomorrow at 5:30, but stay with us. The news at 6 is starting now.